Good evening, good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to this special service. This service is being recorded in our actual sanctuary. And I want to say, although this is the service for Shabbat beginning on July the 24th, and I point out we were pre-recording it on July the 23rd, the last time we were in this sanctuary leading a service was March the 14th. I know that because I found the old program sitting here on the Vimeo. We want to thank everyone who has made this possible for us to begin the process of returning to the sanctuary, right now with a virtual congregation, but we're going to try slowly to ease our way back in to presenting services to you the way you have always been used to them. So let us continue with the Shabbat Candle blessing. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Continue now with the singing of Kei Sulhi. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We continue with the singing of the Baruch.
Baruch hu en Adonai
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah potech she'arim, u'vitbona meshana etim, u'machalif et hasmanim. ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me, did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated. In Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and in peace. Then shall we rejoice, as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch Ata Adonai HaPorei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, Ba'al Kol Amo Yisrael, Be'al Yerushalayim. We continue with the singing of Yismachu. Continue with the tefillah. Please rise.
Be
Shimcha Kadosh, Ukdoshim B'chol Yom Yehalalucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day, and may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 56, Ritzeh. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our life within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemcha, ulachana lehodot. We continue with the singing of Shalom Rav.
Shalom
us now take a few moments to pause for private silent prayer. Let us also take a few moments to pray for all of us who are suffering spiritually at this very, very difficult time. We offer our prayers for healing for those who are ill, and we mention in particular Arlene Steer, Nancy Foyne, Ruth Pogorski, Andrew Lerman, Eileen Egan, Joshua Haran, Katie Pastor, Trudy Caruso, Zachary Pastor, Douglas Baker, Mark Brown, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, B. Einstein. But we offer a prayer for all those who are spiritually in the dumps in these challenging times. Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov Sarecha, Rachel ve'Leah, Hu Yivarech et Holim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill and those who are distressed. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored, their strength to be revived, and their spirits to be uplifted. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us all say Amen as we sing this Mishaberach together.
Thank you.
love of Torah, devotion and prayer in support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. We offer a special prayer for everyone in this country and every country in the world. May our leaders have the wisdom, the knowledge, and the discernment to work toward bringing good health, good productive lives to all peoples. May we hold ourselves back from the needs of the moment in a sense of dedication toward a healthier and more productive future. My remarks this evening must begin with words of thanks to all who have helped make this production, and I'm going to use that word in all its ramifications possible. Because however simple it has been several months since we have gathered in our sanctuary for a formal service. We think back of the months that in a sense we lost, but more productively, let us look forward to the coming months. And hopefully we cannot lose hope that we will be back here, a full congregation again. I am speaking to a sanctuary that is practically empty. But I've been here long enough to know that this one sits over here and that one sits over there, and I feel I'm almost talking to you virtually nonetheless. I want to make a bit of an announcement. This week's Torah reading is the beginning of Deuteronomy, and coming up in the coming week, which fits with that Torah reading and the one we have next week, is the 9th of Av, the anniversary of the destruction of the first and second temples. I will not have my class on Tuesday. Instead, I will have a presentation at 11 o'clock on Thursday. It will be produced at our home, a commemoration of the 9th of Av. At the beginning of this week's Torah reading in Deuteronomy, it says the people passed through the wilderness in the Arava, near Suf, between Paran and Kovel, Lavan, Hatzerot, and Dizahab. And then other places are mentioned as well, and as I mentioned earlier on in a different context, if I were an archaeologist, I would be very concerned about where these places are. The rabbinic tradition has given us different opportunities to see these as different places in our lives, in our development, positively and negatively. And I have understood this at this moment, and this is a thought that's in process. I think you're going to hear more about this on the high holidays, of where we were when we were in these places, so to speak, where we as individuals and as a community have traveled in our journey through life. Who on earth was ever prepared to lead services in front of an empty sanctuary? Who on earth was prepared to say we had to close our synagogues for the sake of the health and safety of our members? We are dealing with new opportunities. But if you look at the multi-thousand-year history of the Jewish people, we've always dealt with new opportunities. When the temples in Jerusalem were destroyed, it would have been very easy to give up completely. It would have been easy to say even that God abandoned us, but we did not say this in the slightest. We formed new modes of worship and new practices. And I feel that after how many decades now, of leading services and just coming to the synagogue on Erev Shabbat and sort of knowing what I was going to do anyway because there was a structure in front of me and not having to worry about cues as much as we have to now. We now have to have a higher level of consciousness. May we all be given that strength to continue. This congregation is committed to be here for you. And if we relate virtually or in person, for the time being, let us continue that chain of continuity. I remind you, what was it? A little over a month or so ago, at a board meeting, the suggestion was made that over July, when rabbis are supposed to be on vacation, we would not have services. And I have to tell you, my immediate response, unreflected, was to say, no, that can't happen. And we need to make that commitment. I have made that commitment to the congregation. I know you have as well, to continue those traditions which we have developed through the years and through the centuries. So as I look back, and this is a sort of hint as to what you might expect at the high holidays, all these little specks on the map, some of which you've never heard of before, others, Kadesh Barnea, which was the site of a major battle in one of Israel's wars with Egypt. All these specks on the map reflect different stages of our development and where we were when. And standing in front of you virtually on this Shabbat, I am not the same person I was when I stood before a congregation 40 plus years ago, and you aren't the same person you were in a congregation 40 years ago also. So let us reaffirm our commitment to this congregation, to our people, and to the future of a healthy humanity. And all I can say is, we can pray as much as we want, but we still need to wash our hands and wear our masks. I'm putting mine right on after the service. Keep our social distance and help this world survive. Let us continue now with the adoration, and I am going to open up the ark, and we will rise for those handful of us who are in the sanctuary. We pause for a few moments to remember those who are no longer with us. We pay tribute to those who came before us and made it possible for us to be here where we are today. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you. At this time, we recall the recently departed Dorothy Jacobson, Leon Cooper, Edward Shea, James Ora, Rabbi Jonathan Brown, Rabbi Mark Shapiro, Ada Mae Abuza, Merrill Goldman, Danny Baer, Frida Shapiro, Douglas Gross, Ruth Coleman, Morton Skirbo, Earl Gordon. And let us also pause and give everyone a chance to mention and say the names out loud of loved ones or friends of yours who are no longer with us. We also remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing, occurred this time. Ben Brooks, Doris Birdman, Abraham Fine, Mickey Garn, Robert Gilbert, Harry Goldman, Jeanette Goldschmidt, Nathan Griezmann, Joseph Harberger, Clara Kaplan, June Kaufman, Louis Olin, Samuel Polinsky. May their memories stay alive in our hearts, in our thoughts, and our deeds as we continue with the Kaddish. Yit Gadol, Bit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Rutei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon V'yomechon V'chayei Nechol Beit Yisrael, B'gala U'bizman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam U'lamei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitplomam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitalei V'yitalal, Shmei Dekutshah Brechu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Damiran Ve'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'yal Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom V'imromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Yisrael V'imru Amen. May the source of peace grant peace unto those who mourn, and comfort the bereaved among us, and let us all say, Amen. At this point, I'm going to call on Stuart Sinai, the president of the congregation, to share some words.
Whoops. Thank you, Rabbi. My carol has warned me that my usual bloviating should be shortened tonight, and I will do that. So I have dinner. Thank you, everyone, for being here, because we do have two people here. We have my Carol, who's sitting in the back, and we have the Rabbi's wife, Corinne, who's with us also. We wish we had some cardboard placards to put up, and maybe we'll do that next. But we miss all of you being here. This is strange for me. This is my first time now on the Bima as your president for almost 2 months. So we've been doing our services with the help of Corinne and Spencer, and it's nice to be here in this sanctuary. It would be much nicer if you were all here with us, and we hope that will be soon. I want to thank the Rabbi for his relevant and meaningful comments as always, and especially thank him and Corinne for being here on your vacation. Thank you very much. And to Kai and Ann for their music, always beautiful. Thank you. As the rabbi mentioned, he won't be having his anything Jewish goes this Tuesday at 11, but he will be having his class, as he mentioned, on July 30th. July 30th. Check your e-blast. As most of you know, we have our so-called group inebriation session, otherwise called our happy hour, at 5 on every Friday. We've had members of our temple telling very interesting stories about their Jewish life journey, and I say tonight, because we're pretending this is Shabbos night, although it's the day before. And tonight we had Marion Levine, and we love when you're here with us. When we watch those happy hours, we do it on Zoom, and we see all of you, and it's wonderful to see so many people participating. Tomorrow, Saturday, don't miss the Rabbi's Shabbat and study session at 10. I want to let you know that our planning for the year is progressing well. We're going to begin 92Y lectures very soon. We have them lined up already. We're going to have our mini versity sessions beginning later in the year. All of this in virtual format until we can come together safely again. We also have been planning our Scholars Weekend with an astounding speaker who has already agreed to be with us virtually if necessary. And as I mentioned on prior Shabbats, our high holiday services will be unique, memorable, and meaningful. And we're looking forward to having hundreds of people watching on YouTube during our services. A number of people need to be mentioned who've been working diligently on our high holiday planning. The Rabbi, our ritual committee, most ably headed by our past president, Marie Blue Glass, Elise Galinsky, and I want to give a special shout out to our executive director, Isaac Azarad, for his ingenuity, his advice, his leadership, his careful and continuous attention to the countless details necessary to bring about our upcoming holiday services. When you see him, remember to give him a special elbow touch for his tireless efforts. On just another subject I want to mention to you, because it's very important, I also want you to know that our security systems and cameras cover every door of the synagogue and every outside wall. Our monitoring systems are on 24/7. A special thank you, as this is all possible due to everyone who has already sent in their dues along with their security fee. We're looking forward to seeing you in person very soon. Good Shabbat.
Thank you, Stuart. We are about to conclude the service. Let me say that we are going to have a Kiddush. We will not do hamotzi because we're not eating anything. We will sing Yedid Nefesh. I'll announce everything as it comes up. Have our final benediction, but I need an extra minute to express my thanks to Anne, to Kai, to our other choir members who over the past 4 months have tolerated rather unusual circumstances. I thank Rod for videography. I thank everyone who has given us moral support during these challenging times. In life, sometimes it is very easy to give up. We aren't allowed to give up. So before we do anything else, let us start the concluding part of the service. Please join me in the singing of the Kiddush. Are you ready for that? Okay, yes. But we won't do Hamotzi. Okay. Be blessed with a Shabbat of peace, of happiness, of good health. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'kunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Eternal One bless you by protecting you. May the light of the Eternal One shine upon you, and may the Eternal One be gracious to you. May you feel the presence of the Eternal One always, and may you find peace. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.